Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Dragos Pepina and I'm an artist based in Belgium. In today's video I'm going to draw a bluetooth bird and explain it step by step. I find this bird stunning with very vibrant and colorful feathers. I always see the bluetooth birds in my garden and they never stop to amaze me with their beautiful colors. I hope you're going to enjoy this video. Let's get started. So I'm going to use dark cadmium yellow, this one, cadmium yellow, which is this one, terracotta, which is this one, dark Naples ochre, which is this one, brown ochre, which is this one, walnut brown, which is this one, earth green yellow, which is this one here, pine green, light cobalt turquoise, this one, cobalt blue, which is this one. And I just noticed that I forgot a color and I'm going to show it now. It is this one. And it is a sky blue, a dark indigo color, and a black one. And of course, a white pencil from Caran d'Ache, this one. And I'm going to use as well a couple of pen pastels. And I'm going to show which ones as well. And I'm going to use bright yellow green, this one, Hansa yellow shade, this one, yellow ochre, which is this one, phthalo green, ultramarine blue, dark indigo, burnt sienna, and the white one. So these are all the colors I'm going to use for the bird. For the bird I'm going to use as well some extra art supplies and I'm going to show you which ones. And I'm going to start out with the Tombow Mono Eraser, the Slice Tool, a white gel pen from Signo, an eyeshadow makeup sponge, so these small ones, and another kind of eyeshadow sponge which is smaller and more pointy for the smaller areas, which is this one, and as well a mechanical pencil. I have started out working on this cute little guy's head first. After having a closer look to the reference photo, I realized I have to reshape that area and make it bigger. The eyes are my favorite part of a drawing and I always begin with them. These birds have very dark eyes and I only use the black pencil and the white gel pen to add some highlights. After the shape of the head was corrected and the eye was finished, I have applied a base layer on the top part of the head and around it using the ultramarine blue for the light blues and the dark indigo for the dark ones. I chose to use the eyeshadow sponge with a pointy tip because I only had to cover those specific areas, and by using a bigger tool, I would have given myself more work because I had to erase some parts in the end for sure. When working with pen pastels on small areas, make sure that you don't apply too much pressure on the sponge from the beginning and build up your layers from light to dark. Pen pastels are very easy to erase, but sometimes they can be a pain in the bottom and leave some very bad and hard erasable marks if you're not being careful. By using a black pencil on the left side of the eye and a dark indigo pencil on the right side, I started adding in very small and fine feathers. As you can see in my demonstration, I am rendering the feathers using small and fast pencil strokes. To blend the dark feathers into the white ones and create even a more realistic effect, add some lines towards the light area to create some white feathers. Following the reference photo is very important to make sure the feather grow is in the right direction and not going all over the place. Please make sure your pencils are very sharp when you start adding small and fine details like these feathers. Bluetooth feathers are very similar with fur because they are very tiny, so you don't have to draw each single of them. To avoid giving the feathers a flat look, I use the white pencil to add some highlights. Moving to the blue area of the head, I have started to add in details using the same methods. I used a combination of cobalt blue, dark indigo and white for that part. I made sure the pencils are very sharp and build the layers from light to dark using small pencil strokes. After assuring the light layers were finished, I applied a harder pressure using the dark indigo to create a layer including the dark feathers. The beak was completed very fast because it was made of light and dark shading. The colors used were black and dark indigo. I've used as well the white gel pen to create two small white feathers covering a small portion of the beak just for a more realistic effect. For the base layer of the bottom part of the body, I used a combination of bright yellow green, Hansa yellow and phthalo green pen pastels. Because it was a bigger area than the head, I used the rounded eyeshadow sponge to apply them and cover as much of the area as possible. I am again working on layers and marking out where the lights and darks will be placed and which colors as well. Because the yellow pastel wasn't bright enough, I decided to use the cadmium yellow pencil to increase the vibrancy of the yellow areas. I applied quite a bit of pressure to make them as vibrant as possible. If you have a very bright yellow in your pen pastel set, this step is necessary. The upper body base layer was applied using the phthalo green and a mix of the bright yellow green and ultramarine blue pen pastels to create a turquoise color. I chose again to use the rounded sponge to cover more areas faster. After noticing the bottom part of the body was too light, I added some dark shadows using the earth green pencil and phthalo green pen pastel color. Following the reference photo is very important because the further you go into building the layers phase, the more you have to add more colors or make areas lighter or darker. As you can see in the video now, the pen pastels were a great help. Thanks to them, all the colors are in the right place and I know where I need to stop with the color and start with the next one. All that's left to do is to create the feathers. To add in details on the top part of the body, I used mainly the pine green and turquoise pencils. I used again very fast pencil strokes after I sharpened my pencils very good. To add some white feathers in the darker areas, I scraped off some pigment with the slice tool and filled those gaps with a white pencil. These small and fine details really help adding more life to the drawing. The longer feathers were different from the rest and I had to approach them differently. I've used the black pencil first to color the dark area around them, to make my eyes focus only in the middle part of the area. This is a thing I often do because it helps me to frame that area and direct all my attention in one place. The long feathers were mainly made out of shadows and a lot of contrast because my main goal wasn't to make them hyper-realistic, as this is a simple way to draw a bird. The black helped a lot to bring them to life. To be honest, the belly was one of my favorite parts of this drawing because it has the most color combinations and that vibrant yellow and green were a pleasure to work with. To draw the small feathers I used mainly the pine green color. I love the feathers direction on this area. It starts downwards and going all the way up in the end. You can notice how much easier it was for me to create a realistic look by having all the colors down before starting adding in the details. For some areas I used the cadmium yellow color just to add the touch of vibrancy. I chose to draw a blue-tipped bird because of its feathers, very easy to draw. This kind of bird doesn't have very big visible feathers on most of its body and they resemble the fur a lot, so if you have drawn fur before, this will be easy peasy for you. The tail is built from very long feathers which don't require a lot of small details, but a lot of shading. The pencils used here are light cobalt turquoise and black. My purpose was to achieve an out of the focus effect for the tail, that's why I didn't focus too much on the details. My main focus was the head, belly and the back part. Such as for the other big feathers from the back, the black color really helped tying it all together. I added some white on the bottom of the tail to give a shine effect and make it stand out more. This part is out of the focus sometimes because I forgot to adjust the camera, so I'm really sorry for that. Before starting out working on the little legs, I noticed I left a blank space between them and covered it up. The outlines weren't visible anymore and I had to recreate them. This often happens when making a sketch. It doesn't matter how much precision you have, you still need to adjust some of it in the end. The colors used here are dark Naples, brown ochre and dark indigo. The legs are not very detailed because they are out of focus, or better said, I tried to make them look this way and I hope I succeeded. Unfortunately, while filming the part including the wood piece, my camera wasn't recording and it was too late when I noticed it. My apologies for that. This video came to an end. I hope you had fun watching it, learned new things and it answered some of the questions. If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up, it can help me a lot. If you are new around here, why not hit that subscribe button and enjoy all the future Color Pencils videos. Don't forget to press the bell button as well to be notified every time a new video goes live. YouTube doesn't show the new videos to all the subscribers and you might miss some of them, that's why the bell button is very important. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day, bye!